is Nikki Acosta. I am a cloud computing evangelista at Rackspace.
I'm Scott Sanchez, Director of Private Cloud Strategy.
And today, in this first installment of this cast, we're going to answer one of the most common questions we hear, which is, what is OpenStack? So in its simplest definition, OpenStack is an open source cloud operating system, and it's also a community of thousands of people all over the globe. In July of 2010, OpenStack was founded by Rackspace and NASA, and the mission was to enable any organization, regardless of size, to create and offer cloud computing services running on standardized hardware. In just 2.5 years, the project's grown into an ecosystem that's created thousands of jobs all over the world. The OpenStack Foundation was created in 2012 with a simple mission to protect, empower, and promote OpenStack software in the community around it, including users, developers, and the entire ecosystem. As of early December 2012, the foundation consists of almost 6,700 members in over 83 countries and is supported by some of the biggest names in technology. Developers continue to contribute code to the different projects within OpenStack, written primarily in Python and freely available via the Apache 2 license. Now that we've covered a brief history of OpenStack as a community, let's look at OpenStack, the software.
Most people who have built applications have experienced writing the application and deploying it on a dedicated server. You write a new app, you get a new server. Need more resources? Add more RAM or get bigger disks. Add another CPU. This model worked, but the company soon realized they had a whole bunch of servers that weren't being fully utilized. In addition, procuring, fulfilling, racking, stacking, configuring, and networking those servers took a lot of time. So in the last decade, virtualization was born. And virtualization added a hypervisor to a server and allowed people to deploy applications on virtual machines instead of physical machines. Those were great, except that as you started to add more and more virtual servers, it became increasingly difficult to manage them. You had to think about different hypervisors, different servers, different brands, and if you were still managing devices like they were physical machines, except now you had a virtualization layer. This wasn't complicated just for administrators, but the developers and the business users also experienced frustration, because they still can't get what they need on demand, and they don't have the ability to automate the things that they do frequently. What OpenStack does is it turns all of those sets of hypervisors within a data center, or across multiple data centers, into pools of resources. Those pools of resources can be managed and consumed from a single place, and that place is OpenStack. You have both APIs available to you, which are programmatic interfaces, and you have dashboards that both administrators and your users can go to have that familiar point-and-click interface to spin up virtual machines, provision storage, configure networks, or do any of the things that OpenStack does. Think about OpenStack as the control layer that sits above all the virtualized things that are already in your data center. In the case of OpenStack Compute, called Nova, you have the same abstraction and orchestration layer to control that compute environment regardless of the hypervisor that you pick. You can run KVM, Xen, Hyper-V, ESX, and many other hypervisors, but the way you access them is consistent. The same goes for storage. We have block storage in OpenStack called Cinder. We have object storage called Swift. We have networks called Quantum. And you access this all through the same abstraction layer in OpenStack, not through the underlying technology. We'll dig deeper into each of the OpenStack projects in future episodes. Ultimately, when you choose OpenStack, the physical hardware doesn't go away. The complexity in managing and consuming resources across those heterogeneous environments and from different vendors, hypervisors, storage, and networking components is made much easier. This is because OpenStack abstracts administrators and users away from the underlying components and allows them to consume those resources as a service with a consistent set of APIs and a common dashboard. And since OpenStack is open, you could also design your own dashboard or connect the APIs to your own tools or management platforms like RightScale.
So now that we've covered the basics of OpenStack, let's answer the question, what are people doing with OpenStack? So OpenStack is being used to power public and private clouds all over the world, research institutions, government agencies, financial institutions, biomedical research and pharmaceutical companies, e-commerce and media companies, and many others are using OpenStack today. There's a list of use cases on OpenStack.org, and in future episodes, we'll cover use cases in more detail. If you're exploring OpenStack or you want to learn more, go to OpenStack.org, attend one of the many global meetup groups, attend a design summit and conference, or join the community. If you're a developer looking for an easy way to install OpenStack, you can try the free community-supported installer from devstack.org, or if you're looking for a commercially supported version of OpenStack, you can download the free and open source Rackspace private cloud software from rackspace.com/cloud/private. If you have any questions or would like to comment on this video, feel free to tweet us. That's all for now. See you next time.